Yo, Miss Moss, 808, brought to you by the Esoteric Soji. We're mapping out the astrological points so you're aware of the astrological energies that you are all encompassing so that you are guided with your motivated compass, in the right direction of your moral guide. We have the sun in Aquarius and the moon in Libra. So we have our south node comfortability with our relationships, and anytime any moon or energy goes through the south node, this is bringing up new connections, new lenses, new ways of going direct through your comfort zone and seeing what works and what didn't work, or how far you're willing to go back into a comfort zone. So with the moon being here, you can emotionally connect to previous relationships and remember a previous trauma, soul bond, what have you, and be aware how much of a percentage level you are emotionally attached to, aka your associates with this trine to the sun and Pluto. How much you are attached to emotionally, trying to bring balance and initiate a conversation to have an intimate partnership with various associations and link these associations together and have some sense of diplomacy that enables you to have power and control over the dust element, over practical ideas that are floating around, that you can move them in a direction so that when they settle, they're not just dusting up the windows of opportunity, but they are landing in the natural zones where they're supposed to, right? And so when you have the moon in the south node still opposing the north node in Chiron, so emotionally connecting to these relationships that you are comfortable with and not seeing them as mistakes, but seeing you expressing a vision for your individuality that could be separate from your emotions, that can be a passion, or being independent and standing on your tools and making the wrong mistake and being lost forever. But you have to go through these mistakes alone and go through them by yourself alone and push forward and rely and have faith in spirit that your way of expressing a vision, not just talking and then working with the team and then everyone has their piece that adds to the vision. You put out a vision and then that vision can add to other pieces, and that vision brings you guys together with your associations. You also have the moon in the south node squaring Mars, Mercury, and Venus, compromising for our passions and motivations with our way of communicating and thinking about these ideas that has that will, right? So you're learning how to use and be used, and it's not going to have an established relationship, a precursor. It's not going to have be in the air floating around moving real quickly and you can get the information at lightning speed. You're going to be boots on the ground, moving through these experiences, seeing what works and what doesn't work, and what's practical and what isn't practical, because you just came out of the Virgo critiquing and analyzing yourself and others, and now you're bringing that sense of diplomacy and appreciation for the values and things that you have into initiating, pushing forward, standing on business, standing on anchoring down and being rooted into the ground. It has many branches that you can't see beneath the surface, and so you can't really see during this period of time with the air. You just send out your communication and you just know by people, places, and things, but by the mistakes that you make in Chiron expressing that vision to add color to your air. That way you understand that, hey, this in conjunction to Taurus and the experiences and the individual character of those experiences, pushing forward for the things that it has, for the things that it established, by manifesting and knowing what it wants and being able to use what it wants, and to be able to take care of and exalt what it has to a better status and value for itself, right? And for others, when others come around and build and see where the value lies, they generate their own value, and then you can begin to relate based off of what you have, allowing the barter system of goods and services, not just your communication of what you're comfortable with. So with that in conjunction, can be that misunderstanding of experiences and expressing forwardly that knowledge to teach others in a way that comes across as rebellious and opposing and revolutionary to technology, to the things that it has, to the things that it appreciates, where you are just in the comfort zone that can rock you to sleep, right? So, and it's still squaring, the sun's still squaring, so taking action towards your associations, and Pluto and transforming in power control, and learning how to do that with what it has with the previous experiences, that it added the value to what humanity values, not just what Aquarius values, its own way of thinking, not just what Aquarius is learning from the outer dimensions, and it's expressing to pay attention to, because it's a detriment. It doesn't really care about all that attention and things of that nature. And the depositor of Aquarius is in Uranus, so you see how Taurus is doing that in a practical way, so learning from that. But we're still on your biscuit, Libra, because you still have you still have that in conjunction as well to Pisces, Saturn in Pisces, Neptune in Pisces, the collective consciousness of love, and having that tough love, having that tough exterior for an imagination, knowing you're gonna go and have fun and things of that nature, but you're gonna follow all the rules, and having zero toleration for any escapism when we had that Sagittarius placements, going and experiencing and wandering off. Now you're not wandering off, you're going to be in your dreams, imaginations, and delusions, but you're going to be into one place, restricted and grounded, so that you're not all over the place with this gift of your associations with the moon there. When the moon and the sun are having that trine right there, it's really in cohesion, it's really able to bringing that gift to society, bringing that normalcy of what's comfortable, what is in your south node, and you're bringing what is intimate and what is scarce, what you're scarce about, what different associations do they align with your intimate relationships. Is they about bringing balance, which 9 times out of 10 they're not. You're rubbing shoulders to get the gift of the gab, going into shaking hands with the devil a little bit, but still having that outstanding rebellious nature in the back pocket of that energy, and to let people think that you're being rocked to sleep, but you're not being rocked to sleep, because you're really balancing and bringing certain people together in certain dynamics. And this is where Libras can be liars, because you can bring certain people together that the energy's is going to clash, and you can bring people situations together to where you're pitted on one side, and you can say it wasn't on you, it was on someone else to do that manipulative, just communication, just that dry communication, just that room for or misalignment, because it's not a deep intent, with Scorpio or any of those other fall energies, So stay on your ones and twos during this period of time that we are establishing balance and fair communication with our associations and appreciations and value for a certain communication. And just keep going back to communication and thinking, and misunderstandings, misalignments, but you are going to assert, bring a balance between your comfort zones and your associations, and know what's emotionally attached from or detached from, utilizing Taurus, your values, and the things that you already have that established that you don't need to put up as a front for other people to see. Pisces, the collective love and consciousness that you're restricting yourself into for a certain section of people, and not providing that to other sections of people, being rocked to sleep, putting yourself in the delusion where that what you have is good, at least until time passes by, because then the reality of the situation won't be so much of the reality, which is your emotions, being emotionally tied to these things, or people still being emotionally tied to you. So cut any soul ties right now, and just use your imagination and project that image out into the north node, and be your own individual and project that image. But y'all stay safe out here. Peace. And trying to Pluto, diplomacy in power control over that dust element, bringing that dust element and letting it land on your associations, and that's bringing the balance, that thing that you can sift through and come through, taking care of everyone on both sides. Add that tip in there. Peace.